Hello there, and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 2 Project A-Spec. This is another preview of the 1.2 update. I last covered the 1.2 update back in September, and since then things have got even better. And so that's what we're here to cover today. I'm going to cover the world map of Gran Turismo 2 1.2 Project A-Spec, show you all of the new dealers, the new tuning shop, maybe even a couple of new events, although we won't be going through those today. Then there is going to be a follow-up video tomorrow where I'm going to cover all of the cars from the 1.2 update, including some of those that I covered in the previous video, as well as all new cars. And you'll see a couple of them in this video as well, but we'll go through and do a proper deep dive on them, and then we'll play through a couple of the new events as well in the coming days. So as much as I don't usually say it, hit subscribe, and you can stay up to date with all things 1.2. And I want to send a special thank you to Komputer and the whole Project A-Spec team for hooking me up with this new build of the 1.2. And in case you're curious, Project A-Spec updates 1.2 will drop on January 28th. I've left the link below down to go to their Discord server, where as soon as this comes out, it will be available to download, and you can play this for yourself. I'm told this build is basically 99% there. There's going to be one more event to add after this build, but other than that, it's pretty much done. So this is what you are going to see on January 28th. So very exciting, and like I say, stay tuned for more. But today, we're going to go through the world, because there are a lot of new interesting features in 1.2, and I suppose one of the big marquee features, one of the true game changers here, is the tune shop. So this replaces the wheel shop in the base game, although not quite, because you can still buy wheels from here. But unlike in the base game, where for example, if you owned a Honda, you'd go into eCity, you'd go to Honda, and then you'd tune the car through the dealer. Here, you don't have to do that. There is a universal tuning shop for all cars, so if you click on Tune Shop, you'll see there's tune parts there, and once you are in a car, it will showcase like normal, so you can customize your car's exhaust, tyres, turbo, weight reduction, race modification, all the stuff that you love to do in GT2 with your cars. You can do that here. I do have to admit, it is a little interesting to get used to if you're like me and you've played this game for 20 odd years and you're just used to the muscle memory of going to the tuning shop. But eventually you'll get the hang of this, and this is just a far easier way to do it. So you've got the tune shop, you've of course got the wheel shop, and then you've got one of my personal favourite features, which is the full model category. Now I love this in Gran Turismo 4, where you could buy direct pre-tuned cars from the tune shops, and you can do that here. So if you click on full model, you'll see full model, a showcase of the world's greatest tuners. You'll see a couple of the tuning shops are closed. Could be potential hints for what's upcoming. But you'll see all of the tuners in GT2, and you can buy cars directly from them. So for example, in the case of Tom's, we could go here, we can buy the brand new Tom's T20, or the Castrol Tom Supra, and the other Tom Supra that I can't pronounce the name of because it's Japanese. Buy the TRD 3000 GT from here. The Celine SR wide body, the GT300 RX7, the P-Ride 280 Type MR. So in case you're wondering, a lot of the price cards have been rejigged, the used car showrooms have been rejigged, and so as a result, this is basically the one-stop shop for all of these cool cars. Mugen, there you go, you can buy you can actually buy that as your first car. That's a pretty good first car, really. Castrol Mugen NSX there, the Mines propositions, the Mines Lancer Evo 5, that's a very quick car around our track on the Hot Lap Classic, so definitely a steal there. Got the drag car if you really want to, and then there is the Apex MR2. And like I say, as you can see, there's also a bunch of other tuning shops here that could potentially give you some clues as to what's coming next. But that's awesome. I love the tune shop. I feel that's a fantastic addition to the game, to have all the tuning just in one stop, in one place. So if you buy a car, for example, if you get a prize car and it's from a manufacturer that you know, like for example, one of the new cars in this is the Brun C91. Instead of trying to find the dealer for that, you can just go straight to the tune shop, which is great. But of course, in order to use the tune shop, you need cars, and that's when we start exploring some of the new dealers. So if we head into North City, you'll see there is more dealers than ever before. So you've got new dealers in the form of Quaif, Marcos, and Caterham. as well as the existing dealers in the base game, and we'll just go through all of these and showcase what you can get. So for example, Quaif, of course we saw this in my previous video covering this mod, the Quaif R4 GTS road version. Awesome car, do love it. I think it looks absolutely exquisite. That's one thing you will notice about the models in this mod. They do look absolutely exquisite. Of course, there's the racing version of the R4 GTS, and as mentioned, I'll do a full video sort of going through the cars individually and telling you a bit about them as well tomorrow actually. So stay tuned for that one. I'm not going to cover what all the cars are and so on in this video because otherwise it will be 2 hours long, but I am showcasing that you can buy a lot of these, including the 2 racing Marcoses, which are very strange looking vehicles, but they are there. Go to Mercedes-Benz, there is the SLK 320, which of course has been in Project A-Spec from the start, which is very cool, as well as the C-Class DTM and the Sauber C9. What an awesome car that is. I love the livery on this. I've never seen that Coros livery, but it does look great. Aston Martin. Couple of new cars there. You got the V12 Vantage and the V12 Vantage Volante, which was not in my build previously. You can also buy the DB7 GT1 if you want to be weird. You might think that car's undervalued, but trust me, you haven't driven it. Caterham, obviously you've got the classic Caterhams, the Caterham 7 Classic there, which looks awesome, and the Caterham Superlight, and then you've got the 21 Supersport as well, which does look awesome. And as you can see there as well, no tuning shop for these, they all get tuned in the tuning dealer. The Vectra, they've added the Vauxhall Vectra 2 litre, that's interesting. There was the Opel in the previous mod, but not the Vauxhall, so there you go, you can use the Vauxhall now. BMW, of course, there is the M Coupe, which we saw in my previous look through this mod, and all the colours on this have been rejigged as well, so they look absolutely fantastic now. And the E30 M3, which I believe has had a model update. Speaking of model updates, there is the V12 LMR and the 840 Ci LM edition. Of course, rip the magic 900 horsepower version, but it does look a lot better now. Roofs, of course, they are as they were before. I believe there is a new roof in here, but I think it's the BR2. Don't quote me on that. And then there's the CR4 and the Pikes Peak car from the, again, the previous update. Audi, I don't think there's anything... Oh, no, never mind. There is the R8R, which does look absolutely awesome. I don't know where you get the R8C. I won't spoil any of the prize cars. I have got a prize car list, but obviously I won't be talking about that one, you know. I need to leave a little bit to your imagination. So you can go ahead and play the mod and be surprised. There's the Astra GSI, which you can actually get as a first car. Pretty good starter choice there. 147 horsepower, 1,100 kilograms. That should be pretty fun. And then the Calibra DTM car as well from the standard game. TVRs, you can buy the Cerberus LM edition from the dealer, which is very cool. Jaguar, this is one of my favourite dealers for a reason you'll see in a second. So of course, you get the standard XJ220 and the XJR15 in all the new colours, but you can also get this. If you don't know what this is, again, I'll talk about it in my video on the full car list, but this thing is pretty awesome. It's basically an XJ220 with the body of a Transit. It was used as a test mule. Yeah, very, very cool car. Like I say, I'll go more in depth with that, and we'll do a proper demonstration, driving demonstration that as well in the coming days. A couple of Lotuses, which is pretty much as that is before, and then Mini, I believe these are all the same. Get the Minis as the starter cars as well. If you want to drive around in a 62 horsepower Mini, you can do so. So now, of course, we've covered North City. Let's get into what's possibly the most anticipated manufacturer in this mod, which sits in West City, and it is, of course, that dealer right there, the new Ferrari dealer. There's a beautiful picture in F355 there, and of course you can buy the F355 straight from the dealer in some beautiful colours. Honestly, I remember when I did my original 1.2 video, and it was really hard choosing what colour I wanted to showcase the 355 in, and yeah, I'm going to struggle even more now because I can see all of the colours. That Azzurro Dino looks incredible. And then, of course, there is the F40. Hell yeah. An F40 in GT2, and it does look absolutely exquisite, this model. It really does look absolutely fantastic. Very expensive, but definitely worth it. And then there is the GT300 Ferrari 355s as well. There's also Alpine. Shout out to this dealer picture, by the way. This dealer picture looks absolutely incredible with the, I think that's the A310. It does look great. I think that's my favourite of the new dealer pictures. And then there's the A1110, which has been remodeled since I last covered it. I love the wheels on that thing. They look spectacular. Then there's the A310 V6, which I don't think this was in my original video either. But again, another stunning looking model. I think some of these models genuinely like are starting to rival like GT3 quality. They do look absolutely exquisite. There's the GTA V6 Turbo there. And now you can just buy the Alpine A442B, which is an absolute steal at 250,000 credits. I don't know if all these pricings are staying the same, just to sort of fill that one out of the way. I don't know if the pricing's staying the same, but it does look pretty good value at the moment. There's the Oxia and the Formula 1 car, the Prost AP02, one of 2 Formula 1 cars that you can buy direct from the dealer, and the other ones, well, you'll have to figure out how to acquire them yourself. But the Prost is awesome, the Peugeot-powered Prost AP02, when it all went badly downhill for Prost. Fiat, of course, there's the 124 that I covered in the previous video, not the Lada, but the Fiat 124, which is a fantastic car in and of itself. Another sort of starter car that you could go with as well, which is awesome. Lots of starter car Fiats there for you to choose from. Lancia, their lineup looks the same, but you can buy the LC2 from the Lancia dealer, which is an awesome car. I love that massive cutout it's got on the back. This thing is purely designed for speed and nothing else. Venturi, that's all the same, as you'd expect. Alfa Romeo is, I think, all the same, apart from, of course, the 155 DTM. The Sicara and the remodeled 33 TT12. So, yeah, this is another car. I think this was a prize car in base Project A-Spec, and now, like I say, they've rejigged all the prize cars, and this has got a new model as well, which I think looks absolutely exquisite. Before it did look a little bit strange, but now I think it looks great. Yeah, so they've rejigged all the prize cars, which is cool. Renault, here's a dealer that's obviously got a lot of change. You've got the classic Twingo, which has sort of been rebalanced and remodeled. The Renault Spider, of course, the poster child for me when it comes to Project A-Spec. And you can buy the Renault 5 Turbo as well at a very reasonable 32,000 credits. And then, of course, there's the classic Espace F1. And Citroën, the only change is the Zara F2 kit car, which I covered before. We'll go south now to South City. 2 new dealers here. There is Panos, which does not have the Esperanti, but instead has these, which are awesome. The Panos Roadster. I think these are Ford V8 powered. Yeah, just like mini roadsters, basically the American version of a Caterham in all of the right ways. And then if that one hasn't got enough power, there is also the AIV. I think this one uses the SVT Cobra's bigger 4.6 litre V8, which is awesome. Plymouth, of course, you've got the Fury in buckskin beige. This has been completely remodeled as well, and looks absolutely exquisite. And then probably one of my favourite remodels in this mod, this Prowler. Oh my god, it is absolutely stunning, this Prowler in the Prowler purple. Another remodel, of course this has been in Project A-Spec since the start, but that looks absolutely exquisite. And then the Howler's also had a bit of a remodel as well, and there's the PT Spider. Chevrolet, of course there is the C5 Corvette, a car which is very notable by its absence in the standard game, but you can buy the C5. This even has a racing modification, which I'll showcase in my video tomorrow. And there's the C5R. I don't think I've seen this before. I did go through the mod briefly. I must not have clicked on special Chevrolets, but yeah, the C5R, that looks absolutely spectacular. And the Advanced Auto Camaro. This is a GT300 car, which is, yeah, it wasn't competitive, can you tell? There is Vision, with the crazy Vision Series K2 and the Vision Industries K2 LM edition, which is a little bit cheaper, but of course is nowhere near as quick as the standard Vision because it is a race car. Vector, you've got all new Vectors, the W2 Twin Turbo and the AVTEC WX3 sit there, and they're very, very cool. And then I think the SRV8 might have had a new colour added, because I don't remember it being that sort of lovely yellow before. I think it was sort of a very bright yellow, but that looks terrific. Ford, of course, you've got overnight parts from Japan, which should only come in that colour, let's be honest, but there are other colours if you so feel like it. And then there is also the other purchasable F1 car, the Minardi M01. So if you want to play the F1 Championship, which is a thing in this game now, on hard mode, you can use the Minardi M01, and then of course the GT90 and the Indigo. Shelby, of course, typical sort of Shelbys, and then Series 1 with all of its new colours, which all look spectacular. And then you've got Dodge, where you can start with the Stratus. I believe the Stratus has been redone, so before in the mod it had like a crazy, stupid amount of power that it wasn't intended to have. And now it's sort of been rebalanced and taken down a notch, as it should have been. And then E-City, only one new dealer to talk about here, and it is Isuzu. And then you can buy the Bullet, which wasn't in my build originally. I love this car, the Japanese Ford Escort. And then the Piazza, which you can start the game with, which are 133 horsepower. Definitely not a bad choice to start the game with. And then you've got Suzuki, which of course you can buy the Carry panel van, the cheapest car in the game now, I believe, although that one is crazy expensive compared to that one. So you've got some options there. Honda, I don't think, other than, yes, of course, there's the Insight. How could I forget the Insight? Another awesome car that you can use as a start car. This one's had its transmission redone since the build that I played before, which is awesome. So that car is a lot more viable now. Subaru is all pretty much the same. The Subaru Impreza 99 rally cars had a bit of a recolor, and all the rally cars and GT300 cars and GT500 cars are all rebalanced in this mod as well. So the GT300 cars are actually GT300 cars. The rally cars are actually as they should be, 200 horsepower. So you'll notice there a lot less Mazdas in the Mazda showroom. Not a big loss, because all you've really lost is all the duplicates of the MX-5s and the RX-7s. So yeah, there's some of the compromises that you have to make to add all these new cars to the game. But for me, personally, I think it's entirely worth it, because if you really want to use those cars, just play the base GT2 and then have this as a separate install, which is what I do. Daihatsu, nothing new there. Toyota, I don't think there's anything new here. Obviously, you might notice some of the cars from the special dealers have been moved into the tuning shops, like the Tom's Castrol, so you can get the Esso Tiger Supra, and the FK Massimio Tsurumo Supra there as well. And then Mitsubishi, of course, you've got the classic Eclipse GST, which is not a new car, but I just thought it was for some reason. There's the 90s Eclipses, the early 90s Eclipses, the DSM cars in the Mitsubishi dealer, as there was before. I don't think you can use these as the first car, but yeah, there's the Eclipse GSX in some new colours, with its a new model. Tommy Kyron, nothing new here, as far as I'm aware. Nissan, I don't think there's anything new here either, apart from the Calsonic Skyline is now something that you can buy, which is awesome. I think that's all the dealers. If I've missed one, I apologise greatly, but that is what the world of 1.2 looks like through all the dealers. As you can see, a lot of interesting, cool changes, which I really do enjoy. I love this tuning shop. This is such a good idea and adds a load to the game. And of course, like I say, there's no more confusion with any of these new cars, because some of them are really obscure from really obscure manufacturers, and you can just take them to the tuning shop. And yeah. So when it comes to events, there is of course a couple of new events. You might notice a cheeky one there, the little F1 Championship, which you can participate in once you've got the S license, and the Gran Turismo World League. This is replacing the event synthesizer, which I think is a good change, because of course you need an event for all those F1 cars. Rally events aren't changed, but there are different prize cards for that. Endurances, of course, there is Like the Wind, and another event that is going to be added to that isn't in this build. That one event I was talking about, the 99% completion, that was part of it. And then there is the mighty Supercar Festival, which again is another video that I'm going to be showcasing in the coming days. We'll have a look into the Supercar Festival and the F1 Championship, I think, and we'll have a play around with that. But No, in terms of the world of 1.2, that is it. I do hope you have enjoyed and seen the next car that you are going to start your Gran Turismo journey in, or indeed the car that you're going to inspire to get into when you eventually play through A-Spec 1.2 on January 28th. So once again, thank you to Komputer and the Project A-Spec team. As previously mentioned, just after this video goes out, probably an hour or two afterwards, I am going to be doing a live stream if you want to come along and see me play through A-Spec 1.2, and then tomorrow we are also going to be doing a full video on the full car list of 1.2, and I think then after that we'll play around with that F40 in the Supercar Festival with a couple of other cars as well. So if that sounds like something that's going to tickle your pickle, then as I said before, stay tuned to the channel. But no, other than that, thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.